Hi everyone. I'm making a video. It's not what I want to do. But in the last couple of days, in the middle of this pandemic, I've just been swamped. I've been overwhelmed with people sending me things that are essentially conspiracy theories. And while I believe that there are nefarious works going on and there are determined plots to bring down this country and to stop the progress of Christianity and to change our economy, to bring us into one. I believe all that. I believe all that. My concern is that most of the people that I'm talking to that are believers have no biblical backup. They have no biblical grid for what's actually going on, because there's been an equally nefarious effort to make people feel overwhelmed by the study of the end times. And beloved, we just don't have that option any longer. It is time for us to know what the Word has to say and to be able to own that and then to be able to present that. So for the last really 5 or 6 months with JamHop, I just began to do a challenge, and it kind of looked like this. Tell me what you know for sure about end time events without any Googling, without any study. Back it up with the scripture. And of course, what we very quickly learned is that there was little or nothing that we actually believed, knew, and could back up with a chapter and a verse. So we began a study, and we've gone at it hard for months now. I personally have studied the end times since I got saved 40 plus years ago, but really have gone hard after it for the last 15. And there are a couple of things I want to say. Number one is it takes some time to get past the fear aspect of studying the end times. And it's one of the reasons that people just have overlooked it. There's like 150 chapters in the Bible that are pertinent to the end times, and people don't know those, and they don't know where to find those. So it takes a minute. It takes a minute to study. And then if you study it the wrong way, the tendency is to get so overwhelmed so quickly that we just walk away from it and go to something that's easier. But there is a way to study it. And what I've done is, and I hope to pass this on to you, is I've trained myself to study it by looking at what are the concrete facts. What are the biblical facts? It's not symbolism. It's not vague. We don't have to try to figure out who these 10 nations are and who these 4 horns are and all that. No, we want to start by what are some biblical facts. For example, is there a great apostasy? Is there a great apostasy? Yes or no? If there is, where is it? It's in Matthew 24:10. Okay, is there, that's a great falling away. If you don't know what an apostasy is, that's when many believers will be swept away and they're going to fall away from Christ. People who know Christ, these are not unbelievers, they are going to fall away. It is called the great apostasy. It's one of the things that precedes the Antichrist coming on the scene and the second coming of Christ. It's Matthew 24. Okay. Another thing would be, is there a millennial kingdom? Is there a 1,000-year reign that's coming? We kind of believe that there is. Where is that in the Bible? It's going to be in Revelation 20. It's not hard to find, but we need to know where it is, and we need to be able to know it in a way that we can speak about that intelligently to people. Because a great part of the life that I live right now, I set aside so that I will have more and do better and be more rightly placed in that 1,000-year millennial reign. I'll tell you, it makes a difference in the way that we live. Another thing would be like, is there a time where Satan meets with the Antichrist and divests himself of power and hands all of his authority over to the Antichrist? Baby, that matters. That matters. Does Satan meet with the Antichrist and hand off his authority and power to that man? Yes, he does. It's in Revelation 13. And it's easy to remember that. You know why? Because 13 is the proverbial number of bad luck. And I'm telling you, in Revelation 13, nothing good happens. But then, Revelation 14, the hero, Jesus Christ, is standing on the top of Mount Zion. Get this picture. Satan and the Antichrist are down low. They're on the beach. Jesus is up high with 144,000 men at the top of a mountain. Picture, the wind is blowing in their hair. They are there. They are heroic. They are seeing everything that's happening. It's Revelation 14, 144,000 men. That's no small group. That's 2 superdomes of men. Okay, we need to know that. There's all sorts of things. There's all sorts of things. There's a 10-nation confederation that comes together. It's not so important that you know who those 10 nations are. It's important that you know that when we watch the news, that if we see 10 nations come together and give their authority and come into alliance with this man, we need to know that that guy is probably the Antichrist. Is that in the Bible? Yes, it's in the book of Daniel. It's in Daniel. It's Daniel 9:27. It's clearly written. There are so many things that are clearly written. And what I want you to do is work with me and let me help you develop just a grid, just an overview of clearly written scriptures that you can know. And once you know those, I want to cut you loose and you can fill in all the blanks and you can figure out what this means and figure out what that means. But we don't have to start with the scriptures that are vague and that could be symbolism or maybe they're not symbolism. Let's learn the concrete things. Let your heart be at peace about those things. And then the other thing I want to say is it's scripture and it's perspective. There is a different perspective that we embrace when we really start to study the end times. I mean, listen, we're the bride. We're the bride of Christ. We are not the wicked. We are not the ones that the hard judgments are coming against. That's not us. Let me put your heart at peace to as much as I can and give you confidence for what's coming, because there is a new temple that's going to be built in Jerusalem. It could happen tomorrow. Everything is in place. It's showtime. Will I live to see the fulfillment of all the end time events? The actual return of Jesus Christ to the earth? I may not. It may not be in my time frame, but I have a responsibility to see to it that those that are younger than me and that my grandchildren and that they know what to look for. So let me help you. Let me teach you. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it. I don't like the video thing. I know it's what everybody's doing. I'm not trying to build a ministry or raise money. I just love my friends. I love the believers that I run with. I love my family. And I just want you to have certain information. It is not enough to focus right now on the fact that COVID-19 could be put in place by people who are trying to overrun our government and cause a change in our Constitution and to take cash and turn us into... You know what? All that stuff's going to come. Knowing that is not going to make you ready. So I'm making this video. I don't want to impose on anyone. I'll probably post this one on Facebook, and I'll probably send it to some friends and family. If you want to follow the other videos that I'm going to make, and I'm not going to make many, you know, I just want you to get a grip and get a grid to get yourself started. If you want that, maybe send me a message and I will reply to it. And listen, I love this. I love this subject. All my fear is gone. I'm not in fear now. I am taking ground right now. I am advancing right now. And so there's perspective and there's scriptures. Everything that I show you is going to have a scripture attached to it. I don't want to give you anything that is just presumption. It's not necessary because it's all in the Word. So I love you, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.